On this day 70 years ago, the residents of Sophiatown in the city of Johannesburg woke up to an unexpected visit from the army while they were expecting the forced removals with laws being brought in by the apartheid regime. They didn't expect it to happen on this specific day, and many residents found themselves moved from this area to various different other communities, specifically Meadowlands in Soweto. We've read many recollections of what had happened here in Sophiatown, but also the memory of the resistance, the art, the culture and community that lived within this streets. And one of those who penned many poems and stories around it was Don Mattera. We're with his daughter here today. Snowy, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. You've heard the stories, you've read your father's works on it, we've all shared and had such a glimpse of what life was like here in Sophiatown. But you, being his daughter, what was the recollections that you had from him of what life was here, that nostalgia that he held on to throughout his life?
What most ex-residents of Sophiatown often speak about is the cosmopolitan, non-racial society that they lived with and amongst, and how the pain of the separation affected them. But they were a vibrant community, albeit challenges that there were, they were content in their space.
We are here today at the opening of this mobile exhibition in memory of all the resistance and the lives that were here. How important is it for us to have these exhibitions taking place?
You know, I find it especially pertinent in these times of what is topical now is expropriation of land. What people and what the youth should understand is, why is this expropriation necessary? Because communities like Sophiatown, District 6, and many others, land was taken away from people, property was taken away from people, and that is what needs to be addressed. And this should be a constant reminder to our young people where we come from and why they are in situations that they are currently. As black children, their grandparents and parents were robbed of a trajectory that was disturbed by these forced removals.
You speak on that reminder. When you look at South Africa post-apartheid, do you feel that there's been enough to redress the inequalities that apartheid brought?
We would not be called the most unequal society in the world if those inequalities were addressed. Our government has done some things, but we know that they have failed us at most. If you look at, for instance, the ex-residents of Sophiatown were compensated a measly 40,000 rand. I mean, really, what is that? Instead, the government should have allotted plots and given families a choice to build or start to build, because we all know that property and land is the way to build wealth or income.
Sophiatown was known for being the vibrant community where there was resistance, activism, but also writing. Your dad played a significant role in, encapsulating and memorizing Sophiatown. How important it is for us in today's time that youth continue, expanding in literature and the arts to remember, and to also, for the future to remember where we are.
You know, my dad does say he was inspired by the likes of Henry Ngumalo, Eskiam Pahlele, and if it was not for my dad's writing, we would not be here now. So the youth should understand how important it is to read firstly, to know history in general, our history, the world's history, so that we are better informed. If you are better informed, you can better argue or state your case. So I think the arts, my dad having come from literature, poetry, journalism, and community activism was all at the center of his being.
Thank you so much. We're speaking with Don Mattera's daughter, Snowy, here at the opening of the mobile exhibition that is commemorating 70 years since the forced eviction of the community of Sophiatown, one of the first evictions that took place, but also bringing it and highlighting that understanding the history also helps us to understand where we are currently in South Africa, giving the topical conversations around land expropriation bill and understanding where that context comes from will continue to bring more voices on the story and continue throughout this weekend, remembering those in their resistance, in their arts and culture as we memorialize the Sophiatown residents and their 70 years of evictions.